Am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for refusing to help my sister after she left her husband for his best friend? Ooh, this sounds good. I'm dealing with some real family drama and can use an outside perspective. My sister, Emily, 30, has left her husband, Mark, 30, to be with his best friend, Tom, 32. Now she's asking if she can stay with me, and I honestly have no idea if I'm being unreasonable by saying no. First and foremost, sounds like Tom wasn't Mark's best friend. I could understand accidentally bullshit happens and it's terrible, and two guys end up messing with the same girl after some time. I could even take in this example a guy messing with some guy's girlfriend, and it wasn't serious. But married already, and y'all supposed to be best friends? No, no, no. And you're not unreasonable by saying no. I could just say off the jump, you're not unreasonable by saying no because I do solely believe women, for the most part, not all women, but many, many women live on easy street. No consequences for their actions because somebody's always going to save them from when they do things. Let's continue. A bit of background. Emily and Mark have been together since high school. They were one of those couples everyone thought was perfect, together for over a decade. That's 10 fucking years. Married for 5 years. And completely solid, or so we thought. Mark is genuinely a good guy. He's the type of guy who would drop everything to help someone out. Has patched up my parents' roof more times than I can count. And has been there for me through my own worst breakups. He's basically a part of our family, and we've all grown to love him like a brother. Whenever I hear these stories of when you see these girls and they're at the age of like 40 and they're crying because they don't feel attractive, and everybody that they end up, because they still can get dates, but the dates are solely just the fuck. They're crying because nobody wants them, but they turned down multiple good men or overlooked multiple good guys because they wanted a certain type and that type only wanted one thing. This girl won the lottery apparently with Mark, right? She won the lottery. There's so many girls that hit a certain age that they sit there and they just fantasize about having the opportunity, which they probably did and destroyed it for their own fantasy story in favor of a venture, in favor of something different because they felt as though stability, security was boring. My man's patching your family's roof. He's helping your sister out when she's having an emotional wreck. He's being there for you. He didn't do anything but be a good guy. And you cheat on him with his best friend, supposed best friend. Well, it turns out, about a year ago, Emily and Tom, Mark's best friend, started connecting, but in a different way. I think about it, I think it began as them confiding in each other about their marriage struggles. And at some point, they convinced themselves that they were each other's soulmates. Emily swears it wasn't physical until recently, but knowing it's been going on emotionally for so long honestly feels worse. The kicker? Emily didn't even tell Mark himself, Tom's wife. Wait, what? Wait, hold on. Who's Mark? Who's Tom? Wait, Mark is the husband. Okay. The kicker? Emily didn't even tell Mark herself. Tom's wife, Lisa, was the one who walked in on them together. Oh, so this has been going on for a minute. I ain't hearing that shit. This has been going on for a minute. She is the one who told Mark, not Emily. She claimed she didn't want to hurt him. So I guess she thought, what? That he just not noticed his wife left him? I don't know. It was a disaster. Mark was crushed, blindsided. He tried calling Emily to talk, but she already packed her things and left to stay with a friend, saying she was finally following her heart. Oh my god. And that she doesn't owe anyone an apology. Honestly, it all felt cold. So again, Whenever we hear these stories of the girl leaves because she feels like as though she's not being fulfilled, she's not being loved enough, what else can you do? Sometimes you can do everything right and it's still not enough for some people. A man sitting there and calling to find out what the hell's going on after a situation like this, after something like this, after all of these years, and he's still trying to do the right thing and getting disrespected still. And somehow Emily will sit here and say, this is your fault. We're going to turn this is your fault. It's always men's fault. Finally following her heart, and she doesn't, following her heart 10 years, finally following her heart. That's nasty work. Now Emily's asking to stay with me because, according to her, mom and dad are being hostile and unsupported. Based parents. Based. They both furious with her, especially my dad, who feels like she broken up our family and betrayed someone who's been nothing but kind to us. But my mom's in that weird spot of her still being her mother and saying she needs support despite what she said. Now, if I say it's because most women are hardwired to be agreeable, I don't know what's the word, to go with the flow with things, even if it's not right, just because they're sympathetic or empathetic or whatever ethic or whatever bullshit it is. They can sit there and be like, oh, well, you have to understand these migrants. This actually happened. I'm not making this up. I'm pulling this off of my memory. These migrants are frustrated because they're coming from another land and they're not able to date women. And so that's why they raped this person and let them go. Also, because the woman put on social media the people's names, these illegals who ended up raping her and all of this shit, she had to serve some jail time. Make it make sense. Empathy gonna get us killed, especially when it's done the wrong way. I told Emily I'm not comfortable letting her stay here. For one thing, my fiance is close friends with Mark's. All right, so that's a done deal. First and foremost, you're not comfortable with it, sister, because you have a good heart. Your temperament is that of a decent person, and you're seeing somebody be indecent. You and your heart know that it is not okay to let this person go on without consequences after doing what they did to not just him, but to your entire family. You know. Come on now. I told Emily I'm not comfortable letting her stay here. For one thing, my fiance is close friends with Mark. It would feel like a betrayal to let her stay when we know how badly she hurt him. My fiance actually said it would be a slap in the face, and I agree. But it's not just loyalty to Mark. This whole thing has shaken how I see my sister. So you know what actually is crazy? Two types of women. You got one woman like Emily that is going to go do what she wants to do. And she thinks that everybody should, basically, she feels like as though she's going to do what she wants to do and there's no repercussions. And then the sister, right, whose fiance with the guy who got cheated on, who is close friends with him. Your sister, Emily's sister, understand, she takes on the mindset of the fiance. Two types of women. Supportive women and women that want a girl boss. Your sister girl boss too close to the sun, and now she's realizing she ain't got nobody after hurting so many people. Good. That's a good girl. That girl right there, that's Emily's sister, is a good girl right there. That's a good girl. And it's not about blindlessly following somebody like a fucking puppet. The deal is, good people should look out for each other. What Emily did was not a good thing, so you treat her accordingly. My fiance said it would be a slap in the face, and I agree. But it's not just loyalty to Mark. This whole thing has shaken how I see my sister. We were close growing up, but the way she's handling this, how easily she's justified tearing someone's life apart, and her complete lack of remorse, it feels like I don't even know her anymore. When I suggested she should give Mark some closure, she lashed out, called me, just like everyone else, and accused me of throwing her under the bus. She even dragged up mistakes I made years ago, saying I'm a hypocrite for not being forgiven. A part of me feels guilty. I know what it's like to be lost and rejected, and there's a small part of me that wonders if maybe she's really in a dark place, and I'm abandoning her when she needs family most. 10 years. She was not lost and rejected. 10 years. Again, if he did anything to this girl, believe me, the sister would have mentioned that Mark was abusive, Mark was cheating on her, because women have no filter when it comes down to feeling like as though they're justified in the things that they do. And in this case, if Mark done cheated on you after 10 years, you have absolutely every right if you decide to leave. Actually, right now, Emily has every right to do whatever the hell Emily wants to do. But other people don't have to go with the bullshit. That's just how it is. If she decides today that she wants to leave Mark, just because she wants to leave Mark, just because she's following her heart and she just wants to leave Mark, she has every single right to do so. That is her choice. But to sit there and act like everyone's going to be okay with her choice, no, you can't decide how other people should feel about your decisions when it all affects them. No. But there's a bigger part of me that thinks I'd be enabling her selfishness if I let her stay. She made a mess, and helping her now feels wrong when all I see is the damage she left behind. So now our family is split. My mom keeps saying family sticks together and thinks Emily will regret this someday. But my dad doesn't even want to talk to her. Based! He thinks she needs to face the concept. Based. We know which way he's voting. Of her choices. And he said he's ashamed of her behavior. Meanwhile, I feel like whatever I do, I'm betraying somebody. No, you're not, because you were betrayed first. Mark was betrayed. Your friend, your fiance, was betrayed through proxy through Mark. No. If I let her stay, I'm betraying Mark, my fiance. And honestly, my own values. I don't want to act like what she did is okay. But if I refuse, I feel like I'm abandoning my sister, and I'm scared I'll regret if she spirals. Then let her spiral. Let her spiral to be the chick that pierces the 7 gates of hell. The 7 stages of hell. Who cares? Who cares? People, like, no one is sitting here saying, let this girl die, but she made her choice. She made her, it's kind of crazy, right? Because let's say that this situation was reversed in some sense and you had a guy and the guy decides to do this bullshit. The guy can't fall on other people to take care of him because that's not the way that the world works. Now, I'm not saying this never happened before, but let's be real. A guy makes this type of choice. He can't run to his family for him to live with them and all of this other stuff. No. I'm struggling. And why didn't she go with her soulmate, her new soulmate? They're soulmates, right? I'm struggling to figure out if I'm doing the right thing. I'm sorry, I skipped something. When I told her she couldn't say, she said she got cold and say I'm just like everyone else, judging her without understanding what she's going through. She keeps saying she feels totally alone and that I'm the last person she thought would turn her away. It's hard to hear that, but every time I picture Mark blindsided and brokenhearted, I feel sick all over again. This is because you love Mark. That's because Mark is a part of your heart and she hurt Mark. And they say blood is thicker than water. I mean, yeah, sure, but sometimes family just aren't right. And in this case, your sister is not right. And now Mark in your eyes is important. And you love that boy. You love that boy because he didn't deserve that. That's a good girl right there. Anyway, I'm struggling to figure out if I'm doing the right thing. Do I support my sister even after all this because she's family, or am I justified in setting this boundary because of the hurt she's caused and a refusal to own up to it? I generally can't tell if I'm being fair or if I'm letting my own anger cloud my judgment. Am I the asshole for refusing to let my sister stay with me even if it risks our relationship? Accomplished Mud says, there's this Korean poetry that says, when you invite someone into your life, you're inviting their whole life with them. Honestly, original poster, you're not responsible for this grown up woman who should work to pay some rent. Her lack of planning does not constitute an emergency for you. She should plan better if she wants to leave her husband. Where's the homewrecker guy? He should be dealing with her. Stop inviting the chaos for your life. Are you trying to sabotage your own relationship? Because your boyfriend will think you as someone who supports a cheater equals cheater. Absolutely. Not the asshole. And please stop falling for the guilt trip. She's not homeless. She's not sick. Being a selfish coward, B, it's not an emergency. Goddamn, 4.4 thousand likes. My man, all right. I won't be surprised if Tom leaves her. Cheating sucks, yes, but don't let her guilt trip you, okay? Don't. She chose this way. She made this decision. It's original poster's house too. If either of them isn't comfortable, I'm sorry, it's the original poster's house too. If either of them isn't comfortable hosting a guest, then they're not hosting a guest. Her sister can get over it with her victim attitude. She can call up Tom for help, but she can't. She can't though. That Korean saying is actually quite profound, but I agree that she's not the asshole. Mother Search says she left Mark for her new fuck buddy Tom. He must get her a place to live. Your mother says family BS. She must rent her an apartment. I'm sorry. Your mother says family bullshit. She must rent her apartment or guilt trip your father the same way she's doing to you to let her move in with her. Not the asshole. Not your monkeys. Not your circus. If you let her into your own home, your own fiance will leave you because clearly you have the same lack of morals as your sister. The only one with a semblance of a the only one with a semblance of a moral compass in your family is your father. This person name is Mother Search. So this is a woman. This is a woman or a trans person. I'm going to hope a woman. This is a woman saying this. Before anyone jumps and say I'm being mean to women, this is a woman. I don't like stupid women. Decent women don't like stupid women. Can we all come together on this here? I'm gonna read one more comment. Not the asshole original poster. Why is your sister not staying with her soulmate, affair partner? She cheated on her husband. She is now suffering the results of her own selfish actions. It is not your job to clean up after her or support her through her fuck up. Anyway, that's the video. Let me know what you think in the comments. Would you let your husband, I'm sorry. Would you let her into your house after she did this shit? Let me know. Peace.
Once my boyfriend was asleep, so I wanted to go fuck my ex real quick, so I drove down to the gas station, let him cream pie me, and then I came home to sneak into bed. My boyfriend woke up and then wanted to fuck me, and he started eating me out and told me how good my pussy tastes, and he's